I want people to understand that just because you have an opinion does not mean you should always share it. And just because you don't agree with someone does not mean that you should always tell them that you don't agree with someone. As long as someone is not promoting something harmful to somebody else or to a group of people, there should be no reason why you should always pick an argument with a person just because they aren't 100% agreeing with everything that you say. And I'm talking about people on Twitter who sometimes want to at me and argue with me because I said something about their fave, or I said something about someone that I do like and support, and they want to argue with me about why they don't like this person or why they think that I should feel the same way about this person as they do. Just because I compliment Cardi B does not mean that I agree with everything that she did in the past. Just because I say that I like Ariana Grande's music does not mean that I am agreeing with the appropriation of Ave and her appropriating trap houses in 7 Rings. Okay, that does not mean that I support everything that they say and do. That just means that I like their music, or I may like their personality, or I may like their persona. You don't need to remind me of everything that they did because I already know. You act as if I don't know what Cardi B did. You act as if I don't know what Ariana Grande says or does. I just choose to ignore it because it's not worth it. It's not worth arguing over them all the time. I just want to enjoy my music. Please don't always tell me that Ariana Grande is a racist because she gets a tan and you want me to have a problem with her tan. That's one thing I don't understand, is why people want me to be upset about the fact that she gets a tan. People tan. I tan. Okay, there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit darker. Okay, there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of brown to your skin because you want to bring life to yourself. Okay, there's people who wear bronzer, there's people who wear tanning lotion. There is nothing wrong with getting a little bit brown. Okay, it's not like she's getting 5 shades darker. She's literally looking like herself with a tan. Ariana Grande looks natural. Don't compare her to someone like Kim Kardashian or these Fashion Nova blackfishes that clearly look like they are darker than me. Because Ariana Grande is not darker than me. She looks tan. She looks like a lot of white girls that I see who naturally tan. And someone tried to say, well, she looks Latina. Okay, but Latina is not a race. And I see a lot of biracial girls that are part Latina, but they are also half white. And they are socialized as white. They are socialized as white Latinas. And they get dark. Sometimes they even get darker than me, but they are still read as white Latinas. Like, you don't understand about race in Latin America, where just because you think somebody looks white or somebody looks brown does not necessarily mean that is their race, because there could be people darker than you that are white, and then there could be someone that are lighter than you that are brown and indigenous or even Afro-Latinx. You don't understand that our concept of race in the US is different than the concept of race in Latin America. So why do y'all always want to bring up the fact that she looks Latina when Latinas can literally look like anything? She looks white. She looks Italian. Italians are a diverse group of people. They can either be very pale and look lily white, or they can look brown with prominent features. There are so many diverse ethnic groups in Italy. I believe, actually, Italy is one of the few countries in Europe that has one of the highest population of black people. And I think there's France, and I think there's England. I mean, there's not very many black people in England, but I actually think Italy and France are one of the top countries in Europe with the most black people. So I don't know why y'all always act as if Italians have one particular look, and all Italians ain't fucking brown. Okay, but like as an ethnic group, like I guess what you can say, the native Italians or indigenous Italians. I don't know how Europeans describe people that are from Europe and are indigenous to it. I don't think white people are actually called indigenous, but I'm going to say like those that are like indigenous to the area. There are people who are clearly brown. There are people who have darker skin than the lily white people. They have prominent features. And y'all keep saying like Ariana Grande is tanning because she wants to look black. Girl, she don't want to look black. And the thing is, Ariana Grande is an ally. She supports women of color. She has always talked about appropriation. She has always talked about the misogyny war black women go through. So she has made it a point to let people know that even though she does love black culture, she does love the music that black women have created, and she has a lot of black female friends, she's not going to exploit that. She wants people to know about what we go through as women of color and black women. So Ariana Grande, to me, is an ally. And I'm not someone that's not going to criticize her, but I really hate how anytime I say something positive about Ariana Grande, somehow I support cultural appropriation because I like the girl's music and I think she can sing. Like, I like her music, and I feel like y'all get mad at us when we say something about Chris Brown, but yet y'all want us to denounce Ariana Grande because you think that she's in blackface. But y'all don't say anything about Kim Kardashian. Oh, well, she's Armenian and she isn't white. And yeah, Ariana Grande, who doesn't really do anything to people, she's this terrible person. I don't buy it. And yes, I know Ariana Grande has appropriated Japanese culture. Yes, Ariana Grande has appropriated black culture. But for you to go as far as to say that she's racist or we can't support her or else we support a racist is ridiculous, because I don't think she's perfect. No. But I wouldn't go as far as to say that she's this maliciously hateful, racist person who wants to erase women of color like a certain family that we know. So that's what I wanted to say, that if you don't like somebody's music or if you don't like them, that's fine. But you don't always have to argue with someone just because someone else likes that person, or you don't have to argue with someone just because someone said that the person sucks. I lost a follower the other day because I said that Nicki Minaj ain't shit for marrying a rapist. And she wants to argue with me. And she gives me supposed facts about how, oh, well, Cardi B fans made it up, which they didn't make it up. It was a Barb that noticed something off about her boyfriend, Kenny. So they looked him up and found out that he was a registered sex offender and that he was charged for murder. And he spent 4 years in jail for rape. And that was when Nicki Minaj fans were concerned and called Kenny out and was trying to warn Nicki. But Nicki instead lied and told them that it wasn't the same guy. She tried to cover it up like, oh, it's not the same guy. But then once they did more research and it turned out it was the guy, then Nicki Minaj dropped the act and said, well, fuck y'all, I don't care, and y'all don't know the whole story. So she stopped lying and saying that it's not the same guy. No, she basically said, well, okay, well, the jig is up now. I'm just going to rant about how you don't know my man and I'm going to stand by him. And the thing is, Nicki, you're so damn stupid that you gonna be with this damn freeloader who is a criminal, who's a felon, and you a global rap pop star, and you don't think this man is using you, and you don't think that this man is feeding you lies about what he did, and he's telling you a different story so you can be on his side. You need to think. I don't understand how her fans can defend that, especially when they're trying to lie on the girl and say, well, the girl mom lied and he didn't want her with her, or she didn't want him with her, and all of that. And it's like, that's not true. He didn't know the girl. He held her at knife point, took her home and raped her. And then they try to say, oh, well, they're the same age. Okay, and you don't understand how guys rape girls at age 15. You don't understand how guys rape girls at a very young age. They're the same age. So does that mean that he didn't have the ability to rape her? You don't know how tall he was. You don't know how tall she was. You don't know the power dynamics. Oh, he was older by 1 year. Because I've been in classes with guys that were younger than me. That didn't mean they couldn't kick my ass. But I guess y'all want to defend your little Nicki. I'm done defending Nicki. And what makes me mad is that these people will literally sit they will literally sit there and watch you basically defend Nikki all this time and basically get dragged over it and get harassed. But then once you don't want to do that anymore, because obviously the person doesn't care about you or anyone else for that matter, they always want to bring up racism and sexism when it benefits them, and they want people on their side. So now that we no longer fall for that, now all of a sudden you're mad at us because we don't want to waste our energy on someone who has proven to not really give them a fuck about us and only talk about issues when it's convenient for her. And I already told this person when they supposedly provided proof, I said, okay, I'll take my foot off her neck because I'm not trying to argue with mutuals over this. If you like Nikki, that's fine. I didn't say I didn't like Nikki. I just said that I don't care to support her or stand with her when she is marrying a rapist. And the person says, okay. But then you continue to talk shit about me to another follower of yours, because you have followers that were attacking me and you didn't say anything to them when they were calling me out my name, because you're a bitch and you somebody that you like somebody as long as they agree with you. But as soon as they don't agree with you, then you turn a different color and you show your true colors. Because how are you going to sit up here and allow gay men to sit up here and call me a bitch or use the B word, and then your excuse is, well, gay men can reclaim that word as well, but you mad at me because I called Nicki Minaj a bitch for being a fucking rape apologist, and you try to say that I wasn't a real womanist or that I'm a fake feminist because I said bitch, knowing good and well that bitch is a term that women can reclaim. You just don't like it when you get embarrassed and you act like the bitch that you are. Just like if I call a black person a coon, I can call them a coon. If I call a black person a nigger, I can call them a nigger. If you acting like an ignorant piece of shit, I can call you a damn slur that I get called myself. I can call somebody a slur, in a jovial manner, as long as I get called a slur. I can reclaim the slur. You can't tell me not to call somebody a bitch when they acting like a fucking asshole. When they acting like a bitch. You can't fucking tell me to not call another woman a bitch. I call men bitches. Bitch to me is gender neutral. So bitch, you can't even use that against me. Trying to make me look bad because I called your fave a rapist. And then you want to argue with somebody else about how, oh, I said that she was a bitch and I'm degrading her. Meanwhile, the argument was that she was marrying a rapist. But yeah, you worried about the fact that I called her a bitch. You see how much of a sick hypocrite these people are? And then they want to try to blame Barty Gang for that. Cardi B has nothing to do with Nicki Minaj's actions. You can't blame everything on Cardi B. You can't blame everything on Misogyny War. You can't blame everything on how people just hate Nicki and they're on the hate train. You can't blame that. It's Nicki's actions, because Nicki didn't have to befriend Tekashi. She didn't have to do a song with Chris Brown, and she didn't have to marry that rapist Kenny. And even if he didn't rape somebody, he still murdered someone. So bitch, I don't have any sympathy for Nicki. I don't know why so many Nicki fans always try to come for Cardi B, or they want to come for Megan, because these women are doing something for themselves and they are trying to do better. And here you are just blaming these women's success on the fact that Nicki Minaj is having a hard time. Well, Nicki Minaj can easily come back up, but she doesn't want to because she continues to shoot herself in the foot. And people have came out and to say that they've been supporting Nicki. They've always supported Nicki. BET even said, we've always supported Nicki, but we just really don't like what she's doing now. And we don't like that she's lying on us, saying that nobody's watching our show and that we had the lowest ratings ever when we actually had the highest ratings. So people are basically saying, I supported Nicki. I felt sorry for her. I was on her side, but she continues to just throw people under the bus. And that was the same thing that Cardi said. She said, I didn't originally have a problem with Nicki. I just really didn't know the situation with her and Remy Ma and Lil Kim, two women that I fucked with. So I wasn't trying to step on any toes. I wasn't supposed to say whether I liked her or not. I was just trying to keep it cool. So I reached out to her and everything seemed all right, but then she kept doing things that were shady and I had enough. And I tried to reach out to her and to have a conversation, but Nicki Minaj ignored me. So with that, it seems as if Nicki Minaj is the aggressor and she's very passive aggressive about it. And she's very much a Sagittarius, a terrorist, a Sagittarius. Like, A lot of Sagittariuses like to basically emotionally manipulate people and then play the victim when they don't get their way. And I feel that's very much Nicki Minaj's trait. And yet all her fans want to get mad at me because I said I don't want to defend someone who's only talking about racism and sexism to distract us from the fact that she's marrying a rapist. And now she wants to pull out of a show in Saudi Arabia because of human rights violation. Like, we weren't just talking about how she's about to marry a rapist. And she's someone I feel that will do anything to keep her relevancy. She will lie. She will slander. She will try to blacklist people just because she sees them as a threat. And I'm really seeing right through to her. And that's why so many Nicki fans were mad at me, because they realize more people are seeing through her bullshit. And if she wants to change, then she has to attempt that. She can't just blame everybody just because we no longer want to fuck with her and we want to fuck with Megan or some people like Cardi B. You can't get mad at people for that. And you can't always throw Cardi B under the bus. Oh, her dad is a rapist. Her dad is not a damn rapist. You always bring up some man named Robert Almazar supposedly raping someone that was 16 years old, and it says that the man is white. Cardi B's dad is not a white man. That is not a white man. He's light skinned, but he's not a white man. You can tell that is a fucking, I was about to say black. I don't know. He's mixed. He's indigenous, mestiz, black. He's a multiracial man. I don't know his racial classification, but the man ain't white. That is not a damn white man at all. So for y'all to keep bringing that down fake ass police report about Cardi's father just to get over the fact that your fave is marrying a rapist, I'm not here for that. I didn't mean to rant this long, but that's basically what I have to say. Stop trying to argue with people because they don't like your fave. Stop trying to argue with someone because they do like somebody that you don't like. That's all I have to say for now.